Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Off 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Up 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the news that apparently Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall rematch is set for February 4th. Let's take a look and we'll discuss it. All right, so this is on Michael Benson's Twitter. The source is ID Boxing News, and it says the Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall rematch reportedly set for February 4th will be pay-per-view on Sky in the UK. Boxers Ben Shalom has confirmed. So Ben Shalom has confirmed this on ID Boxing News. You can pull up the actual interview on your own free time. Now that they're discussing the rematch, I'm turning to you, Chris Spirit G. What's your reaction to that? And what do you recall from the first fight?
Yeah, so I had to, check my notes, so I had my little scorecard app, and I had it, 113. I actually had it a draw, right? Now, this fight was, pretty controversial, Josh Taylor got dropped in the 8th round, so that made it a 10-8 round. Catterall, hit him with a low blow. So then Taylor had a 10-8 round for that one. And then, what was it? Round 11. Round 11, I have it 9-9 for some reason. I can't remember why, but there's something that happened during round 11. So somebody got deducted.
It was a point deduction from
Catterall.
Catterall.
Oh, okay, so that was probably the round where he did the low blow. And then the last round, to be honest with you, I couldn't call it. So I was like, I gave them both 10-10 for the last round, so that's why I have it a draw. Now I know people really hate when you give a 10-10 round, but I was like, really, how do you pick that one? So that's why I just went straight down the line with it. So I think, they definitely need to run that back. However, Josh clearly was complaining about the weight drain, for that fight. So I don't know if it's going to be at 140, me personally, I don't think it should, or if anything, a catch weight, but hey, if Catterall agrees to the terms and conditions, and if they'll say it is at 140 and Josh Taylor says, hey, I can make weight, then there's no excuse, man. But I know that was a major factor in the first one. So, I definitely want to see them run it back. It was a good fight. The match was close. So I could respect if you go with Catterall. I could respect if you go with Taylor. Or I could respect if you like me and just say it's a draw. But they definitely need to run it back.
All right, Dollar Bill.
Yeah, they definitely need to run it back. I was just talking to the co-host earlier. I can't get it right when it comes to Josh Taylor, man. I thought the fight was really, really close. I gave all the close rounds. I gave it to Josh Taylor. I thought the champion deserved to win. I gave it to him by 1 point. Or it could have been a draw. Everybody thought I was crazy. But hey, look, I see fights differently. Ain't nobody's I don't know what it is. I'm just glad that they're getting it on. I'm just glad that they're getting it on again because Jack Catterall deserved another shot at this. And hopefully all the questions and everything will be answered.
All right, TVE.
Nah, this fight was very controversial, man. Jack did his thing, Josh did his thing, and people weren't happy with the upset. Some people screaming robbery, some people saying Josh Taylor won, a lot of people saying Jack won. And for the fact that we got a rematch coming up soon, I'm happy with that, and I hope Jack proves himself. He shows that learns that he needs to prove himself as the clear winner in this fight. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait. It's a good rematch that I want to see, and then let's make it pop. Let's make it happen.
So you're rooting for Jack in the rematch?
I'm just rooting for the better fighter.
I don't know if that's really an answer, but yeah, I think it was a close fight. I scored at 114, 112 for Catterall. But I do see how it can be scored a draw and how you can have it in a different way. It really just depends on how you score the close rounds and the rounds where there were point deductions, because there were point deductions on both sides. And I think that's the problem with point deductions. It kind of hurts the overall score and outcome of the fight, because if someone was winning a round and then they got a point deduction, it's almost like a knockdown, because then you have like a 10-8 round. And if someone wins a round and they get a deduction, then it has to become a 9-9 round. So it's almost like that round's a dead heat. So I think it's unfortunate we had point deductions. It was a good fight. Of all close fights, you're going to hear people scream it was a robbery. You're going to hear some people say this, it should have been scored this way. Other people say it should have been scored that way. You're going to have some people who are closed-minded and think their scorecard's the only scorecard that matters. So they're going to say, well, how could you score it like that? And you don't know anything about boxing. And so they do. And you're biased, as though they have no reason to be biased when they're the same nationality as the fighter or the same ethnicity as the fighter. But they'll be the ones to come at you and say you're biased. Like, so when all is said and done, I appreciate good fights. I appreciate close fights. And I think, when the public demands it, it should be a rematch. Josh Taylor clearly feels like making weight was an issue. He relinquished his belts. He vacated them. So some of them. And so I'm curious to see what weight class this fight's going to be at if they do the rematch. But in the end, I think that the public will enjoy a rematch. And hopefully we get a definitive winner so we can put this to bed. But I think the close fight, to me, looked a lot like Catterall taking a lot of the early rounds, and then Josh Taylor biting down and taking some of the later rounds. And I said this in the segment prior to this. Typically, you see that with a champion / challenger. Sometimes the challenger comes out and gives everything they have early, and then the later rounds, you see the champion weather the storm, figure them out, sometimes stop them, but sometimes control the later rounds. And so, we saw it with Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko, but Vasily turned it on a little bit too late and lost. We saw it with Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. Amanda came out, took a lot of the earlier rounds, but then Katie weathered the storm and was able to take the later rounds. And that was another controversial decision where people debated the fight. Here you have another fight that follows that pattern where, like, the challenger or lesser known fighter comes out, takes a lot of the earlier rounds. The champion weathers the storm, takes the later rounds, and here we are with a debate. The point is, we got competitive boxing, and hopefully the second fight can live up to the first one.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing.